The season is over. Jets lose to the New England Patriots 15-10 at home. I don't know what I'm supposed to say about this game. I don't know what I'm supposed to take away from this game. Because the reality is the only thing that I learned from this game, the only thing that I finally have given up on is Zach Wilson. That's it. That's it. I believed in Zach. I had him as my QB1 in that draft. Yeah, over Trevor Lawrence. I thought that arm talent and that athleticism, I could not see a way that wouldn't work in the NFL. And I thought, you know what? The kid's smart enough to probably figure it out, and he'll figure it out. We just got to give him time. Well, we've given him time. And we've done everything in our power as a Jets organization to make it work with Zach Wilson. And it hasn't worked. Now, for a lot of people out there that are going to call for the general manager's head and the head coach's head and the offensive coordinator's head and all of that stuff, I get it. I totally understand why. This team sticking to the number 2 overall pick that they failed at and sticking to their guns with Zach Wilson is a failure from that organization. But you can tell top to bottom that every single egg was in the Aaron Rodgers basket. And if Aaron Rodgers played in today's game, we would have blown out that team. We would have beaten the New England Patriots by 1,000,000. It would have worked. Because a lot of people are going to try to come up with excuses for Zach Wilson. Oh, the offense. No, the offensive line today was good enough. The defense was good enough. You know who wasn't good enough? Zach Wilson. And yeah, Nathaniel Hackett didn't have the best game plan, but from every level of the organization, from head coach to positional coaches on the offensive side of the ball, no one has faith in Zach not throwing an interception. And so when you go into a game and everybody knows that Zach isn't going to throw the ball, it makes it really easy to eliminate the weapons that you have. Breece Hall and Dalvin Cook have 18 total yards, both of them each. We ran for 38 yards today. We're supposed to have a really good rushing attack, but it doesn't matter when you have 8 guys in the box because, well, you don't respect Zach Wilson, and why should you? He continues to miss open receivers, and I'm not talking about throwing at them and missing them. I'm saying, like, look, these guys are wide open, but he's not throwing to them and taking really, really bad sacks. Hell, he took a safety today. The reality is that the New York Jets had all of their eggs in the Aaron Rodgers basket. And the moment he sat back down, our season was over, like any Super Bowl contending football team. And that's what the Jets are. But their inability to react afterwards, and I know what a lot of people are going to say, and I get it. I totally understand. There isn't a lot of people out there. Like, the Vikings aren't seriously taking Kirk Cousins trade offers yet. Now they're 0-3. Maybe they seriously consider it. Everyone talking about the Gardner Minshews and the Jacoby Brissetts. Well, why would they trade a high-level backup when they don't know who their starter is? Especially Gardner Minshew today with Indianapolis. They won their game with Gardner Minshew. So now you're left with the free agents, and now you're talking about Matt Ryan and Carson Wentz, but the reality is that either one of those guys is probably going to give us a better product than Zach Wilson, because at least both of those guys have shown that they can read a defense. And while Carson Wentz is a gunslinger that's very, very not safe with the football, we have that in Zach, and at least Carson Wentz can read a defense. Matt Ryan is old and immobile, but this offensive line held up against a really, really good defensive unit. Like, we finally got the offensive line that a lot of the New York Jets fans wanted at the beginning of the year. Dwayne Brown, he's done. He's retiring. I don't think he's coming back. Doesn't make sense. And Becton at left tackle and AVT at right tackle, that's the future. Get ready for it. We found our tackles of the future. That's awesome. And Tittman at guard might be the answer because he's a little wild with the snaps under center, but we can still move him into whatever. We found our offensive line. We've got it. The protection will hold up. But it doesn't matter if the quarterback sucks. And that's what Zach Wilson sucks. I had faith in this kid for way too long, and I just am sick and tired of it. And the nail in the coffin to me was Joshua Dobbs led the Arizona Cardinals to beating the Cowboys today, 28-16. A backup quarterback on the worst team in football, in my opinion, which is the Arizona Cardinals, went out and beat the Cowboys. And Zach couldn't do that with a better team. The season is over, and I just don't think that it's safe for anybody's mental health to believe that we're still a playoff team. We're not. And the reality is that heads aren't going to roll because Aaron Rodgers is going to come back next year. But this year, in this year's draft, the Jets are probably going to have to trade up for a quarterback. It is Caleb Williams, Drake May, or Bo Nix season, and it has to happen because Zach Wilson isn't the answer. Aaron Rodgers is old, and that sucks because there's a lot of really, really good first-round wide receivers that I really wanted to look at in this year's draft that we're not going to be able to do anymore because we whiffed on the quarterback pick in Zach Wilson. And the reality is how much faith do you have in Joe Douglas finding the right quarterback this time around and then this coaching staff developing them? Who knows? We're 3 games into the season. There's a lot of football still to be had, but if you're telling me that I have to watch 14 more games of Zach Wilson under center, it's going to be a long season. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section below because I am a little bit down and in the dumps when it comes to this football team right now, and it's mainly because who's under center. Let me know in the comment section below, and last but not least, go Jets.